Joining us now, a historian who accurately predicted 9 of the last 10 presidential elections, Allan Lichtman, a distinguished professor of history at American University. Good morning to you, Professor. You have correctly predicted nearly every presidential race since 1984. Your formula here, you use about 13 true or false questions you call the keys to the White House. Talk about Vice President Kamala Harris, her entrance into the race. How does that impact the formula as it stood when it was a Biden-Trump matchup?
Very quickly, I would say 10 out of 10, because I proved the wrong person was elected president in 2000 in my report to the United States Commission on Civil Rights, still on their website. But let's look at the keys. The cataclysmic events of the past couple of weeks have had an important but mixed impact on the keys. The keys probe the strength and performance of the White House party. If 6 go against the White House party, they're predicted losers. By Joe Biden dropping out, the Democrats lost 1 key, the incumbency key. It's now an open seat. But after their shameful performance of trashing their sitting president, the Democrats have gotten smart. They have united around Kamala Harris, preserving the no primary contest key. So the bottom line is they only lost 1 key. Plus, it looks like Harris may have a positive effect for the Democrats on 2 other keys. She may, and it looks like from the polls, although I'm not much of a believer in the polls, but the shifts in the polls show she has made RFK Jr. a less attractive alternative, since voters don't have to choose between 2 aged candidates. And without Joe Biden front and center, it's made it less likely that there's going to be widespread, massive social unrest erupting this summer or fall. So despite the loss of 1 key, it's still looking positive for the Democrats. Still, a lot would have to go wrong for them to lose in November. Right now, they're down 3 keys: incumbency, mandate because of U.S. House losses, and incumbent charisma because Harris is not an FDR. 3 more keys would have to fall to predict their defeat. The keys I haven't called are third party, which is looking better for the Democrats, social unrest, which is looking better for the Democrats, and foreign military failure and success, which are the 2 shakiest keys. Of those 4, 3 would have to fall to predict the Democrats' defeat. Possible, but not likely.
Professor, there has been so much talk about who is going to be the Harris running mate. We just profiled Mark Kelly there. Is there a candidate on her shortlist right now that could help her pick up those extra keys?
You know, this is quite remarkable. There is no vice presidential key, and there's no evidence from recent years that vice presidential picks actually affect the outcome. In 1988, when George H.W. Bush picked the lightly regarded Dan Quayle, a lot of the pundits said, oh my God, it's going to sink his campaign. And Quayle had the worst beating in any debate, presidential or vice presidential, when he claimed to be like John F. Kennedy, a young star, and his opponent, Lloyd Bentsen, said, I knew JFK. JFK was a friend of mine, and you, sir, are no John Kennedy. And Bush went on to win in a near landslide.
Quickly here, because I'm out of time, when will you make your prediction for this year's election?
Right after the Democratic convention, which I believe ends August 22, and you know where to find me.
Just a few weeks away, you will be our first call. Professor Allan Lichtman, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.